Do y'all see how damaging and scary that is? Yeah. How many women grew up here just knowing that Roe was the law of the land and that, you know what, if I can control my own body and decide how to plan my own family. They just grew up like, that's how it is. Master manipulators with billions of dollars are tipping their toe into this race because they don't like anybody telling them you cannot buy our environment, you cannot buy our rights, you cannot buy our humanity.
And I think it's really incredibly important for us to know that here in Minnesota, there are particular values that we fight for, and they're the values that we all carry as neighbors.
Welcome to Afrisota Digital, an exclusive where we take you inside the electrifying Caucus rally with Minnesota's people and rights-oriented Attorney General Keith Ellison. It's all about unveiling the Ilhan Omar's 2024 run and what it means for Minnesota. Did you miss the Sabathani Community Center event of the 24th of February? Afrisota got you covered with every pivotal moment as we bring you minute-by-minute coverage of how it all went down. Listen to what the Attorney General had to say and leave us your comments.
186 times private groups brought civil rights, voting rights cases under the Voting Rights Act. And only 15 times has the federal government done so. And now they're saying that those 186 times will be 0 times into the future. So that we're not even arguing about did they dilute voting rights or not. You can't even get to court unless the government says you get to court. Do y'all see how damaging and scary that is? Yeah. How many women grew up here just knowing that Roe was the law of the land and that, you know what, if I can control my own body and decide how to plan my own family. They just grew up like, that's how it is. And now it's not how it is. So our Congresswoman comes into history at a moment in time when we are trying to defend what we have and expand what we got. In the realm of what I would consider backlash. Never was I in Congress. The worst person in Congress was Michelle Bachmann. They got 20 Michelle Bachmann. and maybe more than that. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, it's not just, Ilhan's great. We all know that. But she's great at a particular moment when we need somebody great. She's strong when we need somebody strong. She's not a summer soldier. She's a winter one. She's going when the going is tough and standing up strong when it would be easier to just be quiet and stand in the back. And God bless you for that, because none of us really understand, except for maybe Misky and Tim, how hard it can be. But she puts herself back out there again because she has great love for us, quite frankly, even if she don't know you. And so this is why I'm asking y'all to go a little further, call a little more, make another call, donate a little bit more, because it is absolutely worth it. And ultimately, it's not about Ilhan, it's about us. What kind of society do we want? Do we believe in multicultural society? Because I'm telling you, they are gunning for Brown versus Board of Education. They are. Don't think that there are people who would reinstitute Jim Crow today if they could. In fact, for gay people, we already have Jim Crow. The Supreme Court already said, if you want to put up a sign saying we will not make cakes for people like you, that is the law of the land right now under free speech. And if they will do it to this community, why won't they do it to the community that you happen to be in? And even if you don't happen to be in any of these communities that get attacked a lot, well, doesn't it make you feel better that you live in a free country where everybody has an equal opportunity to be included all the time? Yeah. Yes. Let's create a society where you don't have to be a woman to stand up for women's rights, where you don't have to be a person of color to stand up against racism, where you don't have to be a worker to stand up for workers' rights. I was going to say you don't have to be a breather to stand up for environmental rights, but I guess we all are that. So that would, but that there are no allies. We're all there. And I just want to, I want to point out a sense of urgency, because from where I sit, I feel like we are fighting to hang on to a multicultural society, and we're not in where the pendulum isn't swinging where there's an expansion. The pendulum is swinging in the other direction. History, though, never repeats itself. Don't ever let anybody tell you that history repeats itself. But it does sort of rhyme. Yeah. You can change the pattern if you are aware of it and send the right people to make sure that we fight it. And this is the thing. And at the end of the day, Ilhan will never be able to talk to enough people to make sure that we resoundingly win this election. But all of us are her little Ilhan ambassadors. And we can go out there and we can say, look, I know her personally and I believe in her, and you need to volunteer and donate and give to this campaign. Now, I'm just going to say, Ilhan's not perfect. Sorry, sister.
None of us are.
Well, how come Harlan Crow didn't give you a donation like he did to Don Samuels? Don Samuels was virtuous enough to get a donation from the same person who owns Clarence Thomas. I mean, who donated to Clarence Thomas.
To be fair, you might as well.
My point is, we think, oh, this is just our beautiful little Minneapolis home. We're here in the central north part of our country, and we're just minding our own business. No, master manipulators with billions of dollars are tipping their toe into this race because they don't like anybody telling them you cannot buy our environment, you cannot buy our rights, you cannot buy our humanity. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what beats organized money. The organized many. And if you all will reach out and get the many, then we're gonna win this thing. I don't want to win by a few votes. I want to kick the crap out of the other side. Yes. With dignity, with respect. I'm not here to foment any kind of bad ill will toward him, our opponent, personally. But I do want to send a very strong message that his brand of politics is not where we're at. Right? And so it is now time to introduce the moment and the person that you have all been waiting for. None other than the next and current Congresswoman of the 5th Congressional District, Ilhan Omar.
That sounded like a boxing match. Thank you so much, Keith. I don't know what more I could add, but that was really, truly incredible. Thank you so much for grounding us in the moment that we are in and why this fight continues. I'm often reminded how much I love caucuses. I don't know how many of you share that love, but I think it is one of the most grassroots democratic participation anybody could take part in, and I think it is going to be just an incredible, I think, showing that we're going to have at the caucuses, and we are going to kick the crap out of our opponents this time around.
Yes, we are.
But again, this is an opportunity not just to invite people to participate in our great democracy, but it is an opportunity for us to actually enshrine into people's imagination what is possible when we all come together and decide what is it that we are fighting for, right? Keith did, I think, an incredible job in reminding us that our reproductive rights are on the ballot. And as the only candidate endorsed by pro-choice organizations, I am proud to be in this fight for all of us. I know you hear it all the time, but we are facing down fascism and democracy in itself is on the ballot. And people like Harlan Crow are investing in our opponents because they know that they are not going to be strong defenders of our democracy. They're going to be people who take marching orders, not from the people, but from the few. And I think it's really incredibly important for us to know that here in Minnesota, there are particular values that we fight for, and they're the values that we all carry as neighbors. It is to fight to protect our environment. It is to fight to protect our democracy. It is to fight for pro-choice values and to protect all of us. But it is also about creating an inclusive and open society where we all feel welcome, we all feel seen, and we all feel heard. And I think there are a lot of times where people will oftentimes say Ilhan is controversial. I am proud to be controversial. If it means fighting for universal school meals, if it means advancing peace and diplomacy, if it means standing up for immigrants, if it means caring about all of our communities, I am proud to be controversial. And so thank you all for showing up today. Thank you for making the phone calls. Thank you for committing to Caucus. And thank you for saying yes to inviting your neighbors to participate in our great democracy. Thank you.
Thank you.